Hey everybody, it's your man D-Tong. Welcome to another edition of Conversations. In this episode, we welcome music artist, singer, songwriter Jaxony Reign. She's got a brand new track out called Capital T, and you can check out the entire feature where we play a couple of her tracks and do the interview you're about to hear right now. Go stream it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Soundcloud, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, DTongRadio.com, and go check out all of Jaxony Reign's music and learn more about Jaxony Reign at JaxonyReign.com, JaxonyReign, JaxonyReign.com, social media, Jaxony Reign. Enjoy the interview. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. It's your man, D-Tong, and you've just tuned in to Conversations with Jaxony Reign. That track we just played, Capital T, that's just recently released, and we've got the artist for that song right here on the show. Jaxony, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely, and basically through that song, it's a brand new release of yours, catchy. I love it, and it's a song that you're trying to get out there to the masses, of course, and it's something that kind of throws back a little bit too. So you're not just reaching new generations, but old generations with a indie pop rock feel, maybe a classic pop. What made you think about this song, putting it out there, and what's the little bit meaning behind Capital T?
Well, I think pretty much everybody has had those times where they are really attracted to somebody, and maybe that somebody is not the best person for them, but you just feel like you just want to go for it anyway, and then so you're in trouble with a capital T. So that's the idea, I guess, behind the song. As far as why I wrote that song, it was actually I had a storm day where I didn't have to go to college, and I decided to finish up that song. I had the idea in my hookbook for a while, and it just sort of came out that way. And I listened to a bunch of old songs that day because I had that feeling that wouldn't it be cool to have this vibe. It was actually a challenge that I was given to try and write a song that sounded like it was a doo-wop song, but it was still a modern and fresh pop song. So that's what I set out to do. And hopefully people agree that I did it.
Well, no, and that's what I like about it too. It seems like a song in a movie where, like the situation you're talking about, where maybe like the guy or the girl is going to get flowers, they're trying to maybe get ready for that date to try to impress them again, to try to maybe win them back or something. And they're like, I don't know if this person's good for me or bad for me or what, like maybe a torn situation in the movie that's like 3 minutes of them kind of coming to grips of, maybe I shouldn't be with this person because they're trouble with a capital T, but I can't avoid their trouble, or something like that, to where they're kind of conflicted in a way.
Yeah, for me, the singer is infatuated with a bad boy type person. And even though they know they shouldn't be with that person, they sort of can't help themselves.
And I like that. And so now that comes from your songwriting experience, and you flip back that to where, you bring this song out, but you've been writing songs for a while. And is this like a story that you kind of had in your head? Are you normally talking about love stories, or what are things you normally like to write songs about? Because I'm sure there's a lot of songs that you've written that other people have performed that not a lot of people have heard yet, but they'd like to hear.
Well, I have written, obviously, some love songs because I think that's something that everyone can at least identify with in some way. But I've written a lot of other songs, a lot of other types of songs too. Attitude songs, I'm having a great day songs, I'm having a bad day songs, get out of my face songs, powerful
really things
songs.
We face real life, like kind of that's what everybody's day. You don't have a bunch of great days in a row. You got ups, downs, and even in the same day. So it's, kind of that roller coaster ride, which can touch everybody in a different way as far as their perspectives. And is that something you approach as a songwriter, or do you kind of go from your own perspective and then let people feel it their own way?
Well, I think as a songwriter, you get inspired by different things that you see and hear around you. And I'm a big person to capture title ideas, and I write them down. And sometimes I have, with the title that I get as an idea, I'll have a vague understanding of what that means to me. And then when it comes time that I feel like writing that song, I don't just sit down and say, I'm going to write a song about this right now. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll look through my hookbook. And then even though I've looked through it many, many times, one day in that moment, one of those titles will just jump out at me. And I'm like, this is the one I'm writing right now. And then it might even have a different spin or a different meaning than I had in my mind when I first jotted the title down. And when I say my hook book, I mean my iPhone. But
Is there an app for that?
I actually do have an app for that. It's not called Hookbook. It's called Tap Forms, and you can make your own form in it. And then so I have it that I can write down the title and what the genre I think might be, and if it's a happy song, a slow song, if it would work for pop or if it worked for country or TV and film or whatever. And so I kind of do that if I feel I understand it enough. Sometimes I just put the title in and nothing else.
Well, that's good advice for other musicians or songwriters and singers that, another avenue or resource that they can use for themselves. It might make it a little easier on them. And, as you talking about songwriting, you did it, 8 years that you've been songwriting, and now you're jumping into singing. And so what made you, obviously your voice has been there and you probably have known that, but what made you want to jump into the other side of the field, I guess?
Well, I've always been a singer. And I did perform here and there. But what I found was I'm kind of an introverted person. People wouldn't expect that. Everyone that knows me would say, oh my gosh, no, you're such an extrovert. But what it is I'm an extrovert by times. And then after a few hours, I need to go and be alone for a while. Right. So I just never had that feeling that that's something that I would want to do long term. But I also found that when I was performing and the reactions I was getting from people, I loved it. I couldn't get enough of it. And I thought to myself, this is what this is all about. And then the first time I performed one of my own songs that I wrote, I had the most feedback of like people being blown away that I ever had before. And then I was hooked. And then I felt like I really wanted to not only write the songs, but write them and sing them whenever it made sense for me to do so. Because I write songs that are not in my wheelhouse, and those are not for me. I write songs for other people too, but anything that I feel is in my wheelhouse, then I really love it when I get a chance to do something with it. So that's where I decided, okay, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to start releasing songs, and I am just getting going with it, but I really love it.
Well, it sounds like the power of connection kind of overrides your anxiety of performing, so, and a lot of, again, performers have that feeling of like, oh, I got to perform. But then when you're like, oh, I got to go connect with people, it's a lot different. You're like, these people are right there. And then, like you said, the feedback and the energy that you're getting back, like you're connecting with them. And it's a rare thing that an individual can do that with a multiple amount of people, especially at the same time, and grab their attention as an audience. And so I think you have that power. And I mean, you're talking about performing in other places, and, times are a little bit different right now. Or what are your plans for performing? Are you doing any kind of performing, or what's in the future for you that you have in the plans, have in the works?
Well, just before the wonderful pandemic started, I had making plans to try and do some regular gigs again. It had been a couple of years since I had done that. And then I thought better not do that right now. And so my plan is right now I have 6 more singles that I want to release. And if things go well with the vaccines and things start getting back to normal by the fall, then I'm going to do some more performing. And if not, then I'm going to wait until it's safe. And, a lot of times I feel when there have been gigs around here, not many people have attended. And so I think it might just be that people are still afraid to go out and enjoy venues. I love to write songs that really make me feel something and all the different emotions. So for me, capital T, yes, it has that little, oh, I'm attracted to a bad boy thing, but it's all about fun and teasing and, that kind of thing. So to me, it's a feel good song. And I have some coming up that, will be more angsty and so on. But I really, really hope that what I'm able to accomplish is when I release a song, people actually feel something when they listen to it.
Well, there's no doubt about it, because when I heard the first song, capital T, I wanted to hear it again because it is catchy, but also you want to hear the lyrics and what you're saying. And that, because of your experience as a songwriter and your experience through life, it all comes together and makes sense. And that's what's good about it. It's like a little small story within 3 minutes.
Well, that's great to hear. Thanks.
Well, and the same thing for Let the Credits Roll, which we'll play that right now for you, but kind of the same situation here. You got another little story that, if you really listen to the lyrics, you can kind of make your own perception about it and make it your own almost while you sing it, but also like the way you sing it brings, people in to where they see something a certain way, like they start thinking about somebody or a certain event that kind of brings them back, like a memory scent, where if you smell, that scent in the air, that you smell something and it like brings back a memory. The song has the same feel, and Let the Credits Roll could be about moving on, about maybe something passing away. Talk a little bit about that song in your own perspective and when you wrote it, and also a little bit of platforms where people can find you, and then we'll play it and we'll come back and talk some more.
Let the Credits Roll, I hadn't planned on releasing that one. When I was getting ready to start releasing my song, Capital T, I knew I needed to get my platforms up and running. And a lot of people, they do a cover song to get that thing started. And I was thinking to myself, you know what? What if I just wrote a song really quickly and put it out, so that to me that would at least introduce people to me and not so much the cover. And so I did that. And this song, the Let the Credits Roll, is a memory of mine from a breakup I had in the past. And it's just the feelings of it's now got to be done, and we have to move on, and we have to continue on in our lives, and trying to forget any little bad moments and move on. That's really what it is about for me.
Love it. We're playing it right now. Jaxony Reign, Let the Credits Roll. We'll be back. DTongRadio. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. If you're just getting here, we're in the middle of conversations with Jaxony Reign. We've got a couple of her tracks we played, and we're going to play Capital T again, which is one of her brand new tracks. She's got more on the plate this year, and despite all the situations going on, she's going to keep on grinding, keep on releasing tracks. Make sure you follow her social media, Jaxony Reign, JaxonyReign, and getting into a little bit more of what you prefer. Do you prefer streams, when somebody goes and streams maybe your track 5 or 6 times, or do you want them to buy your album or buy your track, or do you want them to purchase directly from you? I mean, it's a different music industry, different music world these days. What do you prefer?
Well, my main concern is I want as many people as possible to hear my music, and hopefully the people that love it will want to listen a lot. But I also understand that some people out there that might like my music don't like to stream. So on my website, jaxonyreign.com, I have a little music store for people that would actually like to download an MP3. And so you can do that if you wish. And then Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, all of those, if you would prefer to stream, oh gosh, please follow me and stream away.
Well, they will. I'm sure they will. And that's the thing, too, is like some artists prefer one way, some prefer another. It's a little bit more personal. And it sounds like you have it set up like, what is it, Bandcamp, where you can kind of dictate what you want to pay for the track. So if somebody wants to give you $1, or they want to give you $20, or they want to just donate to you, you can just go to your website, jaxonyreign.com/music, and that's where they can find your songs.
Yes. Yeah, I have 2 up there. Let the Credits Roll is actually for free. It's 0 cents or higher. If you would like that, you can have it for free. And Capital T, it starts at 99 cents. If you'd like to pay a little more, you don't have to. But if you'd like to, you're welcome to do that.
Well, and of course, and that's the thing. That's why you have build up your fan base, build up people, because some people might give you 0 cents, but then you'll have other people that will give you, $5-10 for a song just because they love it and they know they're going to listen to it 10 times, and that's one kind of indicator too. You kind of know who your true fans are and people that really love your music because they want to buy the song and have it for themselves, instead of having to go through a third party, maybe having to listen to an ad or pay a subscription fee to them. You don't have to do that with you. You can go straight to the website, buy the song, and have it forever without worrying about losing it because your subscription runs out.
That's right. And as far as streaming platforms, I'm not against them at all. I mean, a lot of people love the convenience of streaming. I'm one of them. And I have both a Spotify and an Apple Music account, actually. And one thing that I would tell people, if they're not aware, it really helps artists if you don't only just stream their music, if you actually follow them, if you follow them on YouTube, and if you like their profiles on the streaming platforms. If you can do that, that really helps. And if you can add their songs to playlists and play them, that all helps our algorithms too.
Well, that's the thing too, is like a lot of people that aren't in the industry or just kind of, they're in their 9-to-5 day jobs. They don't get into tech too much and they're like, oh, YouTube, cool. I'm going to YouTube, watch some videos. Well, some of them might know about the like. Obviously, most people know about the like button, but not everybody knows about the algorithms. Yeah. And the subscribes and the comments and liking the other comments that are down there. Like there's a music video that I was in with another artist from Mexico. And I was like a co-star in the music video. Well, every 2 or 3 months, I'm going back to that music video and people that are liking and commenting, I'm going back and liking and commenting their comments and their likes, and so it's helping that video take traction, and it's up to like 400, 500,000 views now, and that was awesome. a year and a half ago. And, but little things like that I'm doing, for the artist, but for myself as well. But that's what all the fans have to understand too, is that if you want, these days it's all about the algorithm. If you can get those likes, get those comments, watch the video all the way through, or if you're not doing anything, sitting there, watch all the videos, or let it, hit it mute on your own laptop and let all your videos play, or your favorite artist videos play. Because again, one, that brings it back into your timeline. So when you release a track, the artist releases a track, it kind of would show, hey, I've been liking this person's videos. They got a brand new track. They're showing it in my timeline on YouTube. Let me go check it out. So that's a little bit better for you and better for them, because they get to find your next hit that comes out and keep following you. So again, I'm glad you brought that up about the algorithm, because music artists, one, have to understand how rhythms work, but the consumer, the listener, also as well, in order to support those artists these days. Because it's not just as easy as buying an album. You don't have to listen or check them out again. You've got the album, but now you're streaming and stuff. Give it a like, add it to one of your playlists, do things like that to help them out.
Yeah. And something else I just discovered is that if you go to an artist's profile on Spotify and you press play and you play all of their songs there, just let it play while you're working or doing something. Those kinds of stats are really helpful to the algorithm too, for whatever reason. And I don't even understand the reason. Spotify seems to really prefer that. Not sure why.
Over just individual songs on the song profile, go to the profile page and stream it from their actual profile.
Yeah, they seem to give you a higher rating for whatever reason if people are doing that, going to your profile. And maybe it's because then they're interested in you for sure and not just the one song.
Well, yeah, then that's exactly. They're interested in that artist specifically, because if you catch one and you let it go to 2 and you play 2 and you got to let it go to 3, well, they're going to keep you there because now they know you like that artist, and we can throw an ad right in between. And that's, that's the Spotify. There's a lot to it. There's, Fiverr has the same thing. Anybody that's doing sales on Amazon, eBay, anywhere, doing things, online, everything's an algorithm these days. And a lot of it's, you're kind of susceptible to the algorithm, but it gets you moving and it gets you understanding how people are interacting and understanding tech as well, to where, let's say you're a music artist and you want to start an online business with Etsy. You can take all that knowledge that you learned in Spotify, how to maximize your profile in Spotify, into your business in Etsy, because it's pretty much carries over with keywords, with, certain things that people, it catches their eye more, like a song title, that you would know about. I'm sure you know a lot about that. So you've got a lot of projects coming up that you're going to be putting up on your Spotify, on your Apple Music and things like that. And people want to follow you through social media, Instagram. You've got a TikTok that you're about to get rolling. Twitter, are you on Twitter?
I made a profile, but I just haven't done much with Twitter. One day I'm going to, though.
Go follow her on Instagram. Instagram for sure. Jaxony Reign. Okay, go ahead.
I'm currently working on a video for Capital T, and getting that done probably in the next few weeks, and then I'll be putting that up wherever video is. YouTube probably for sure.
Absolutely. One and the thing, once you do that, you can upload your video to your Facebook, to your Instagram. You can do it to your Instagram Reels and your Instagram Stories, and little pieces. And again, people can subscribe and share it with their social networks, and that's obviously key. And I'll be doing that for you as well. And then also, anything that you want to do as far as shout out anybody that have part of these projects, obviously some producers maybe of the tracks that you have, and family members, anything like that, or any shout outs you want to put out there. And then we're going to play Capital T one more time to close this out. And then we're going to keep up to date with you and keep everybody else up to date with you in the future.
Well, I should definitely mention my wonderful producer, Hil Kirkudis, and she's in Toronto, Ontario. And she played all the final instruments on Capital T and helped me with the arrangement. We had to make a few changes, decisions, and so on. And so I really liked the end result.
Jaxony Reign, Canadian singer and songwriter, JaxonyReign, Jaxony Reign, capital T. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
All right, y'all, thanks for checking out the interview. You've got introduced to Jaxony Reign. You can get more music at jaxonyreign.com/music. She's on Spotify, Apple Music as well, and stay tuned to her on social media at Jaxony Reign. She's got a great future ahead of her, a lot more brand new songs coming out this year. Make sure you follow her and subscribe right here on YouTube to my channel, DTongRadio, and make sure you share with your social networks. Check out the podcast on your favorite podcast platforms. Follow on Twitter, Instagram, DTong Sports, DTong Radio, #DTongRadio.